Hi, back again to the second part of the tutorial to build a rifle, the AK-47 we've spoken about. First part we have done. Today we'll make the magazine. To make this magazine, it's not helpful when you try to make it as rounded as it is. You better should first make it in normal structure and then bend it to the round. So we add a mesh cube. Scale them down and bring them up in the X so that we have simply that. Pull them out, see it's too fat, so we scale in the Y like that. Okay, what we see next, we have different layers. That is deeper and that is higher. So we need here some loops. With Control B, I make screencast keys on. We separate them. Then we go there and delete this front face, X, only face, and extrude the rest. So we have this deepness there. Okay, close with that. Good. So we have that. So what we have next? Next is we have here a deepness, an in-cutted version, and 3 out-cutted versions here, and 1 deepness in the back. So we must place that all correctly. That means we put, to make here the deepness in, a loop. Here we have the loop. Okay. We see it starts from here, goes to there, and ends with the roundness. So we must have here a point to say where the roundness starts and where it ends. So we put here a loop. We make it here, that is later for the 2 streaks there. And now the end of the roundness here, and start from roundness here, so that we can later make this here. You will see. Okay. Then at the back we need an extrusion of that all. Not that, surely. Only that. That's because here is a fine line between them. We can also take only this, extrude them down, and make that smaller if you like. We can make it there and pull it out. Okay, that's not the problem. The problem is to see what you all need to do this intrude and extrude. So we need here 2 extruded parts. So we get this here in the view that we can select all. We put a little bit out. So we see 2 parts here. So we make 2. Then we see the space between. It's like this. So put in here before 1 and behind 1. Wonderful. In a moment it looks very wide, but trust me, we will do it well. So what we have next? Next, what we have is we have these 3 lines going down there and it should be outside. So we must make here 3 lines. So we go in here and set 3 loops. Now we need the thickness of this part, so we add loops too. I think that is the right one. That too. So wonderful. But in these 3 parts, you see, they don't start it at the beginning, they start it later. So we take in there a loop to say where it starts the roundness. I told it 1,000 times before, and where the roundness ends. Okay, there we want to round it up later. Yeah, should be every time a 4-core even part. Okay, so what we need now, we need to get them out, and we need to round it up here. So at first we try to get these 2 parts out. We go back, front view, we get face selection, then we take these 2 parts that we want to get out, that is that and that. Okay, extruded in the Y. So you'll see we take it out like that is here, but they are not round, and they are rounded up at the bottom of that. So to do this, we need some stuff. We need to middle that, so we make a middle loop. A middle loop. So we want to round up this thing. I said before, we must set a place where it should be end with the roundness. So we take that. Then we get these sides that we want to be round. Mark them all. Control B, move the mouse, and rotate the middle mouse button. So you see we have rounded stuff there. That's good. The same we do with the down part. Round the stuff. Wonderful. So we have that outlooking objects like here, but not at the deeper part. So we need to do the same there. We go in and say where it starts. It starts nearly to the front. So we need a little loop there. Okay, we have. Now it should go to the whole place in the front there. But we need to start the loop, and where the roundness end. So we have that. And now we got out this and pull them out. Okay, now extrude them on Y. Good. Next is to round up like before. Control B and round up. That's okay. It's round, it's round. So, normally you just must pull them a little up and go straight there and so on, but we don't need it. Later, nobody will see that. So, what we make next? Next is that we make these three guys there with the runners. So, we need to extrude. That means we take it ends before there. So we take this to that end. Okay. So we mark that and that, the three lines. That are the three lines that should come out. So we extrude them and see what we need. It's the same as before. We must round up the edges. So we mark the edges. Mark the edges and Control B. Oh, we have one problem here. We must make a middle part to say then where the roundness begins, where it starts, where it ends, and so on. Mark it again, Control B, and rotate them. You see, we need to put that a little that it likes like a quad. So again, Control B and rotate. I think that is okay. Comes out, it looks out, wonderful. Same is here. We should look that near, so then we get these edges that we want to be round. Control B, move the mouse, roll middle mouse button. That's good. So we have the outstanding parts. Now we need the instanding part that goes in the object. So that is this part here. You see it in the original. It comes near to this whole stuff and the rest is not intruded. So what is it? It is this part here. We must intrude that. So we take extrude and pull them in. Now we see we must round up again like before, but in the inside. So we take the inner parts of the edges, this edge and this edge. You see it? That are the inner parts. Then Control B, bevel, roll middle mouse button. You have a roundness there. We must smooth that later. That looks better. Same is here. Get these edges that we want to round up. And roll middle mouse button. Fine. For now it's okay. The whole band comes later. We make it with a curve following. So we have easy to do it here and the rest makes the computer. So what we see here are normal failures that we can change later. So to bend an object like this to this, we need many loops that can be bent on that. So we must make many loops here that it can be round. So we make loops, many loops, like 10. 10 is good. And one here. Okay. So what we do now, we have this part done and want to make it round. So we need a curve. So we add mesh curve, Bezier curve. Rotate x 90 degrees. Scale him down. Get in edit mode. Place him in the middle of the end of the magazine. The other place on the top in the middle of the magazine. Try to make it really middle and fit with the original picture. The original, yeah. I love this English. So, okay, we have the curve. That is the curve from the magazine. So we want to get this mesh follows this curve. How to do that? No problem. We go in here, mark all, give them one subdivide. Then we put in there a subdivision surface, level 1, and a curve deform. Now we must know the name of this curve. We select that, go here in the outliner. With the point we spring to them. Bezier curve is the name. So we take that here and say it should be follow Bezier curve. And you see what happens when we now pull them, it follows this line. We can also scale them, bring them near, go away, and much more. All you can imagine. See what is the effect of that. This effect for me, it's okay. But we see from the subdivision surface we have here a problem because there is no sharp lines. So we must do that. So we take out this effect from the subdivision and the curve. When you click here on the eyes, then the effect don't happen. So why he makes it? He makes it because there is no sharp edges. So we must build sharp edges. We have many methods to do that. We try now one of them. We get the side part and go with N in this panel, and we say it should be increase 1. That means it is very sharp edge. We make the same on the other side. N and increase 1. So now we should have sharp edges. We take on our stuff here, and we see we have little arrows there that we can fix with taking a split edge. The split edge must come before this other stuff, and you will see it's fine. It's like it should be. It's the same. You can round up and bevel this whole edges if you want, but we have that we want. You can apply that or left one copy of that to change little things. Yeah. Okay, so we're gone for this. Thanks a lot.